More than normal, back to doing the splash screen again. See them two front panels are all cured and dried in place. Obviously I only done the top. I'll put some more plastic sheeting on there today so I can fill all them gaps so it doesn't stick to the boot. So I put plastic sheet under the lot. There was some under there originally, but we took some of that off. That's all sheeted out now, so nothing will stick to the boot. Well, that's one of the sides cut, and over there's the other side. I'm going to put some acetone on to liven up the edges, and then we'll stick them in position. Or that one go there? We'll get that in. I'm only holding it in position, no clamps roughly, but that's the sort of shape that'll be. So that'll look alright when it's done. Well, I've done the same procedure as yesterday, just mixed some resin up with some choppies, smeared it on the top of the panels, stuck them in place, and then around the outside I'll put a little clamp on it, and the inside I'll wedge it with a bit of wood, all Heath Robinson style, but as long as it holds it in place is all that matters. So there's a lot better angle, you can see it now. That's all held in place. Right, the bottom's flapping a bit, but it doesn't matter as long as it's fixed on the top. That's all that matters. And then now you can get like a overall sort of shape of the side. I tried to follow it around like the shape of the roof sort of thing and get a rough eye, the guide sort of thing. But there you go, the shape is what it'll be when it's done. So now I've got to let that cure, and then I'll go around the whole lot and bond all the top to the bottom, because at the minute that's only the joins like around there what's done at the minute. Once that's all cured, I'll then acetone all around the bottom of that flange and that sheet, and I'll bond all that together with the same resin and choppies, get that done. That ain't that hot this morning, but that started to go off quickly. I put 2% catalyst in. That's gone off very quickly. Surprised like we are in the sun, but it's got a cool day. Let's see how the other side is. See that the other side's bonded in there, and obviously that bit there I just smoothed it in because there's a bit of a lip there, so just smooth it off. Well, it's bulging a bit there, but that doesn't matter because obviously the whole lot shifted 10mm this way, so I've got a bit of wood to push it back. So when that's bonded, and then we can then play and do the rest of it. I don't know where the old chap's gone. Oh, so I do. I can see him through the kitchen window, doing what you do best, making a cup of tea. Old people they live off tea, don't they? Well, that's the side all bonded in. So now I want to do the front, because I can't brace everything in position and clamp everything down at the same time. So what I'm going to do is just going to fill this front in and bond this bottomless panel to the flange. I'm going to use chop strands again, just go right across the front. Obviously before I do it, just going to get a bit of acetone and pushing the gap. See that, because it's still loose, I can push the thing and open that up. Brush all the way down there, acetone. Wiping off the old chaps. Pen marks, that doesn't matter. So that's just not fixed yet. And just go on the other side and do the same again. Get right in the gap. Just to clean up the edges and key it up. Easy peasy. And to stop that from keep pushing back, I'm just going to put some blocks of wood behind that to keep that forward. So obviously I don't want to keep doing that when I'm putting glass on it. See, we're just putting some wooden blocks behind it just to support this, because that's flexible. If you put a wooden block there, that hold that forward, as you can see on the inside there, just to support it a little. Not so it's rigid, but to take the flex out, so it keep it, close that gap up on that front flange there. My assistant there put another block in.
Debbie McGee?
Yeah, he ain't no Debbie McGee. But then again, I don't want to see the old chap wearing a leotard. That'll put me off for dinner. So yeah, so now on the way up To do that front bit, right, 150 grams of resin with some choppies in it. That'll be enough to fill that in easy. But I'll give it one dose of acetone. I'll give it 5 minutes. And I just need to give it another dose. That doesn't do it any harm. All it do is clean it up and just melt the edges. So don't be tight with it. Acetone is your best friend for a good key. Obviously, melt the fiberglass and key it ready for glass, and it goes sticky as hell. So that's ready to fill up. I just mixed up about 120 grams of resin with some more choppies. Give it a good stir. The choppies are now starting to break down and turn to a paste. So now I can start filling that siding. I'll do the whole lot. It's now got the wood blocks behind it. Drop it. It's just like a filler paste. That's all. That's all going to be glassed over. But I just want to try and get rid of that big old step there. I could have really ground it off, but I haven't. It's just filling that gap up, that's all. Get rid of that step. See, I ain't gonna be a worker art. Just fill that up. Now we're going to do the other side. When we had the boo-boo the other day, and that all bubbled up on the plastic, we had a little strut in there. I'll put that back in. See, we cut it in 2 bits. That was a strength and also a former with a loop on it to tally up with that. So I acetoned it so it's sticky. I'll just smear a little bit on there. I don't need much. Just like a little bit of glue. I'll put that back on there. And do the same on here. Just smear a little bit on there. There's a nice thick bit of glass and that'll provide that rib what we wanted. Same as buttering your toast in the morning. Dad, can you get inside the boat? Yeah. When I pushed it on that, pushed it back a little bit. Is that push that wood back a bit? Right, isn't it? It's moved a bit on the inside, so I just got the old chap to go back inside, but we're just going to leave that on there. See that lined up with that rib, and I'll rebuild that up later. That's a good strong bit and a rib to have in there, so the former, so I can remake that and fill it up with resin. Well, you see that's now bonded in top and bottom. I don't look that particularly smooth. That doesn't matter. It's all got to be glassed over. But it's getting there. Also put that in there for strength. I'm now going to fill all that up around the edges and smooth that off, and then I'll glass over the lot. But I will secure the corners and the bottoms before we go any further. I'll just let this cure around here and see where that go to. Well, last minute change. I've took that bit off of the middle there. That weren't cut particularly well, that's the last minute thing. So the old chap was going to cut me another bit of half round plastic to stick in there. So then we'll marry them up and I'll glass over it and that'll look neater. That was a bit of a last minute improv and that weren't going to work. That was going to look nasty, so I just took it off. Start again. Well, as I was waiting for the front to go off, I thought I'd do the side, so I just filled that up around the flange and that side panel. I clamped it in a couple of places, and the old chap's put a bit of wood behind there to hold it in position. Once we've pinned all the edges in place, that's when it can. This take the time. Once you've done that, you can then just cut the 450 gram mat and start laying up quick as hell. That's all these little bits and pieces, pin it all in place will take the time. I don't know if it's right, that'd been quicker to make a mould, but there you go. You never think that at the time. But that's all held in place, all the side now. They're going off. The front's going off. So all I've got to do now is fix that corner and pin that corner, pin that bit of glass back in, and then glass in the bottom, and then we can start laying up. Right, that bit there, I've changed your mind, I'll get another little half round of plastic and put in there, and that's it. Well, that's now time to do the bit on the starboard side. Obviously that's gaping a little bit there, so to hold that in I might cut a little square block of wood and just screw that just to hold that. So I want to stick all this in together first. So I've got the clamps ready. Just going to pin this back and I'll put the old resin and choppies and fill all that gap up. But I can't leave that there. So the old boy is cutting a little bit of quadrant. So I'm going to put that in there and just screw it in just to hold it, and then put the older choppies on top. Obviously that's all dried now, just clean them up. And I'll do that bottom just like this bit here, and that'll probably be it for today, and then tomorrow I can glass the whole lot all over, and that'll be it virtually. Thank God for that. Oh, actually I've got to cut a strip, glass a strip to the edge of there to get a bit of strength. But the most is, then again, if you just put a bit of quadrant in there, hold it up tight, I might glass that with 2 or 3 layers on the inside, and that'll give a bit of strength in the corner as well. I'll just put a bit of coating behind it and put a few screws in it to hold it closed, ready for me to put a bit of that fibreglass paste on it. And if you look on the other side, the old chap has just drilled it, see a couple of holes in it, and I'm going to have a bit of wooden quadrant in it and screw that shut, ready for putting a bit of paste on it as well. And after that, that'll be it really. What the thing I'm going to do today is put a flapper disc on the edges are here to take that lip, this little bit of a lip, just to feather it on that edge there, flat with disc. And then tomorrow that'll be ready to glass up. So it didn't take longer, just doing the little bits to do the big bits really. And that's the other corner done, just screwed in place, just tacked, just to hold it closed, and just to give it a coat of acetone. So I'll put a little blob of the old chop strand on it, and that'll hold that shut until I take the screws out. And then I'll do the same on that side. Then I just gotta stick all that closed. The job's a good one for the day. Well, if you look here on the edge of the old cuddy off the Wilson fly, there's a lip. So we will actually have a lip to run down too. So the old chap just cut some inch wide strips of fibreglass, obviously off the same sheet as what I moulded up the other week, and just put a little clamp in the top and sort of bodged it round the corner. Then put a bit of wood on it. Nothing complicated, but you see it's touching most of it. And that is a bit of an overlap, that can all be ground off. Just touching 3/4 away across there. So I just coated it all with acetone. So I'm just get more of that paste from resin and choppies and fill there, and just tack that all the way along. Once it's tacked in 3 or 4 places, then that'll go hard, and then that won't move, and then that's ready to, I can glass up properly. Well, I just wedged that against there, a little clamp at the top, and wedged it. And I just managed to feed a little bit of paste. You can see in here, a little bit of resin and choppies. I just fed it slowly, all in that gap. The old chap held the other side, so I obviously weren't pushing it away. I managed to just fill all that gap up with them chop strands and resin, so that's all going to go off and cure in there, and that'll then be joined. So that'll be the start of the lip. You can see this side. You see if you like, see it now. See this size, that's an inch wide the strip, but you can see like in places that in the middle, you can see the old line. But now we're stuck, we'll get a grinder with a flapper disc, and we'll just grind that edge off. So you don't need it, but you just put it in the middle just to get a bit more stability on it, especially when you've got a bit of wood holding the bottom. A bit of wood hold it, and this is sitting on the middle, to keep it stable. But you can see the line up there, that ain't going to go anywhere. Look at that, perfect. How to make a bodgy curve, that'll do it. This is the little lip for the starboard side. What I've just done is, you can see very well in there, just notched out the inner bit, put it across, and then just laid it on top. And going down, just clumped it on there, the lip. It's only touching it. Then put a mark one bit of wood there to stop it from moving. And that's closed the gap up. So all I need to do is mix up some more resin and choppies and put it in that little joint there and let it go off, and that'll be the lip the other side. Lovely job. Let's get them choppies mixed up before I fall off this crappy old bit of rotten scaffold and end up bashing my face in. Well, to stick that lip down will be the last layout of the day. I'll just see that, just zeroed it. And go from there. Just poured out of the barrel into there. Hardly any. I'm aiming for around 20 grams, all I need to do that last little bit. Let's put it on the scales. Oh, 21 grams. You ain't getting no better than that, are you? Oh, that's the wind making it flutter. But 21, look at that. That's a good judgment, isn't it? Well, I just mixed some choppies in it. I don't want it very thick, still nice and runny. So obviously I've got to push it in that up that crack there and fill that up. So I want it mainly liquid with the odd bit of binder in it. I'll now get that and just feed it in there. It's quite awkward. Well, obviously as you do this, you just put the paste on the stick and you push it right in. It's got to be quite delicate. And just pushing it right up. Sort of just like buttering it up the joint. You can put a huge amount on there. Just You see obviously wet running down here. All you just do is you push it right into the joint there, just enough to get smeared on both surfaces. You can see it's closed all the gap up. That's that cure, that'll go ever so hard, and that's how you stick the edges on. Easy peasy. That's clamped there now, see that? Like the other side, just 3/4 way across the line. But in 15 minutes, that'll be solid and stuck on. Well, that's just the starboard side I stuck on. This is the port side. This one's like 90% cured now. It's all up gel and go hard. You can see that's the lip. Come out lovely, innit? You don't put a lot on there. Just a little smear, just to fill the gap up. And obviously, that's not going to be that strong. It's just to hold it in place, really, like glue. But yeah, let's fill that gap up. And a few them old choppies, just give it a little bit of strength. So yeah, that's the lip come around from the top. That's carrying around to the bottom to give a bit of strength. And I've smeared a bit on the corners there, but I'll take the screws out and I'll take the quadrant out, and I'll put a bit of plastic behind that and glass that in to make that corner strong. Obviously all the edges need trimming as well, but tomorrow I'll put another 4 layers of 450 gram mat on that. That's just getting everything there. That look alright, doesn't it? Oh. So yeah, got a strip there. Let's get in there, innit? If only Orkney made splash screens, they'd sell loads of them. There's the old chap looking at the window, posing. Well, that's it. You can get a good view of it now. That's the shape. Oh, that's the original shape. And then we'll put that on it. I think that look alright. Oh, it look a little bit boxy, but it's hard to get it perfect, considering we weren't making one from scratch. But that's an old Wilson Flyer top screen, that is. That's perfect, there's the right width. But yeah, that'll look alright, that will, when it's done. See, we're getting there. We've done all the hard bits, making all the flange and making all the panels and everything, and making them lips on the side. They're all the hard bits and shaping it. The next bit is easy. Couple of layers of glass, grind it all to shape, and then flow coat it. He'll be grinding, that's his perk. I do the complicated bits, he do the grinding. Alright then, well that's it for today. Cheers for all watching, hope you learned something. Catch you later, bye.